You're listening to the Here for the Clout podcast. Here are your hosts, Sherilyn Dale and Cece Suarez. Yeah, baby.
Hello, Clout Queens, Kings, and in-betweens. Welcome back to the Here for the Clout podcast. I'm Chelsea Suarez, one of your super feral hosts, and this delectable little demigorgon is Sherilyn Dale.
I love it.
I love you.
I love them all. Demigorgon. That's Stranger Things, right? And we have the new one coming out on, no, I was going to say Halloween. Christmas. I think the new season is Christmas.
Girl, these kids are like 30. These kids are literally 30.
I know. Yeah, like 11's married now. Fun fact, she was at the Sabrina concert with us, so it's like we were there together.
Yeah, we went together.
Yeah.
She was with us.
She was with us, yeah. How are you?
I am
TikTok
good.
Live queen.
I'm like a TikToker. I made another book nook this weekend.
Oh,
and
good.
yeah, it was the hardest one I've ever done. I've only done 3. And Tony started doing one last night. He did not get very far. So no.
And why was that? Like, was he getting frustrated? Was it just like he was too tired? What happened? Because he was really excited.
Yeah, he was very excited about it. Because Tony's not like the type of, like, so like when for instance, if there's a show and there's like 6 episodes and it's all out, I'm like, get me sat, get everything I need around me. Go to the bathroom, girl, because we ain't getting up. We're going back to back to back. If a whole series is available, we're watching all of it in one sitting.
Right.
He doesn't do that. Can't do it.
Okay.
So, but it's interesting though, because like with projects and stuff, like outside stuff and house stuff, like he always gets it done, like, and does it well and does it like efficiently and, you know, all that. But then with this, it was, I don't know, it's like sitting on the counter. I think he'll probably finish it tonight. He said when he like clicked part of it together, he goes, "Oh, that's very satisfying." And I turn around on the couch and he was like, I was like, "Are we going to have a billion of these?" And he's like, "No, I'm doing just this one and you're going to have it in your office." And I was like, "You're not going to be able to just do one after you finish it. You're going to have to get another one."
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one more.
It needs a friend.
Exactly. Well, it has 3 friends in here.
Yeah.
And Bean he comes in here like 3 times a day, wants me to pick him up. He opens my office door. It comes in here, goes up, and then
wants to look at them.
And I have to pick him up. And then he wants me to turn him on, and then he wants to turn it off. And he is obsessed with it. He thinks it's so cool. And I'm like, yes, it is, buddy.
I love miniature anything, so I love that he loves a miniature moment.
Yeah. Apparently
Shopkins are coming back. That's what Haley told me yesterday, and I was like, what? What a trip that is. Freaking Shopkins with all the like that was like the OG of like miniature things taking off. Now we've got like mini brands and stuff like that, but it was I remember Shopkins.
It's the same thing as the, what is it, like the mini wow or wow whatever. It says like wow on it. I don't know. Yeah. My niece loved those, and I'd go over there and I'd be like, "Jeannie Ann, which one do you want? Pick it out." I was like, "Don't tell anyone. I'm gonna have it shipped here." I do the same thing with her now with Legos. She's never been a Barbie gal. She wants to like build something, which I love.
Oh, I love that.
That's my girl.
Yeah. I love that so much. A little builder, like auntie. I love being in my auntie era.
You are.
I know. I love it. Like I've never been an aunt before. Like to like, you know, blood. And now I can't get enough of her.
Yeah, that's how Carly's been too. Because I mean, she's the only one in our family that has kids, and I don't know. I like didn't realize. I was like, oh yeah, you don't have any nieces or nephews, and she's obsessed with him. Literally tries to steal him. He loves her so much though. FaceTimes him at least once a day.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want her. I get offended if I can't, like, obviously, like, it's so new. Like, she's still so young. But I'm like, when does she come to stay longer than an afternoon? When can I take her to the lake? Because Coco does not like the lake. Not a lake gal.
That's weird.
I know.
Anyways, I love that when I was FaceTiming with you while you were at the lake, D-Man walked by and he walked by twice. And then the 3rd time he goes, "Oh, I didn't know that was my girl Chelsea." I was like, and then just gone. Never
Yeah.
never to be seen again. I'm just like, okay, bye. Bye, Daryl.
I got some footage of the like little tour, and then I would realize after it was like in like TikTok ratio, like you know, like just like sitting, whatever. I'm sure it'll be fine.
No, that's good.
Um,
That's fine. That's what my, because I was gonna like speed it up a little bit and like put music to it. That's what my Book Nook one is that I did on there, so it's okay.
Okay, perfect. Because I was feeling terrible about it later. I was like, oh my God, I just did like this entire, like snippets of the entire weekend in like just like the regular ratio. What is it? Why am I vertical? Jeez.
Someone spent too much time at the lake. Yeah, no, I thought it would be fun for Patreon if they saw your, like a little tour of the, you're always at the lake. I love that for you. And see like what y'all got going on out there,
Yeah, it was a nice weekend out there. Like there was a lot of footage. We're gonna go back out tonight after Haley's birthday dinner. We'll go back out because it's like Canada Day like tomorrow. So they already did like a bunch of stuff like throughout this entire weekend. And then I think they'll have like fireworks and stuff like that. So I want to go on the little boat and watch the fireworks and make a thing of it.
What does Canada Day celebrate?
Being Canada.
I love that for you. Okay.
I feel like it's like 4th of July, right? Like
Is it like independence? Is that's what our July 4th is for, is the getting away from
I feel like it probably is, but like, is it really our land? Like
it never was, girl. It never was.
Literally. My dad's always been like that. He's like, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving and we don't celebrate Canada Day. And I'm like, you know what, Dad? You've always, been there. Even if Joe is questionable with what's going on upstairs, he's always had it, right? Had it figured out long before everybody else. So I just, like it's honestly like I use any excuse to just like drink. So it's not really like I go like hard, but I don't know. I feel some way that's going to be really controversial.
Girl, that I got. Meanwhile, I got me and B and Tony all matching shirts that got hot dogs dancing on them.
Oh, I love that.
And then I got another cute shirt. It's a crop top and it says USA in like really cute letters. Like the design is like not crochet, but it looks like kind of like the letters are like cut out of like a quilt. That's kind of like what it looks like. It's so cute.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I got that too. And I saw on TikTok, it was like, listen, if there's any time to celebrate like a revolution, now's the time. So I'm like, yeah, girl, what America actually means.
Yeah, I feel like it's like, this episode is not going to get political, but like maybe it's just my algorithm or what, but like I've seen like a lot of like shifts of like people trying like to come together and like even a lot of people being like, listen, we done fucked up, okay? This is not what we thought was going to happen. And like really rallying together. And that's nice to see because it's like that's what makes change.
Yeah. Change starts at home. And I love that so much. Because aren't we all just immigrants on stolen land?
Literally. Like,
right. All right. Yeah. What land are you on? I'm not on Seminole. I'm on, what land am I on? I forgot what tribe it is.
I have it all. There's several of mine. So we've got the Métis, the Saulteaux. I want to say Iroquois. Maybe not that one. I have a land acknowledgement in my bio, and I know I'm missing like 3 of them at this moment on the spot. But yeah, you can look it up and say like what your territory is. So I'm Treaty 6 in Edmonton.
Tocobaga.
Yeah, it's nice to know, right? And then you look into it.
So
and I feel like maybe that's like one thing that people like kind of like turn away and they're like, oh, whatever. It's like, well, just look it up and look into it. And then actually it turns into something like
it's history.
Fascinating. It's not like, I don't know. I guess I see the people being like, if they're scared to like know, because what, you think you're going to like get taken over like we did? You know what I mean? It's like, first of all, that's not going to happen. And at least you're educated and what the like the history of the land you're living on is. Like, that's what I've seen, like, so many people be like, oh, and then what? Our rights are stripped from us? And it's like, hey, first, no. You're still fucking here. Yeah, but you should know what the hell happened.
Like, do you have a time machine? That's not, we're not going to change the past, but we ignore the past at our own peril. Dr. Dillerman said that.
Dr. Dillman did say that.
I need to stop quoting him. R.I.P. King. You would have hated it here. So I'm on a Tocobaga and Seminole. Oh, and Mikosuke? I didn't know that
Okay.
one. I knew
Yeah.
Tokugaga. Yeah. And then I
Let
thought
us know where you're from.
I thought Seminole was like in the middle and up higher. I mean, Seminole's everywhere. Then them Seminoles is the best. Love them.
Yeah, let us know where you're from, because I find that so fascinating.
I find it
So
very,
fascinating.
very fascinating. My mom because my mom and her evil twin sister are adopted, but on their birth mom's side, I think it's 4 generations up from their birth mom. She was a descendant of Pocahontas. There we go. Jesus Christ.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And
Wowza.
my friend Megan, you look at her and you're like, yeah, you are. She is also. And so when I heard that, I was like, Megan, are we related?
You're like, we're related.
Yeah. I mean, aren't we all just distant cousins and immigrants on stolen land? Okay. You know who is not a distant cousin? It's Laura Cleary.
Laura Clery. Yes.
Oh, wait, no, we have comment call out. Sorry, guys. There will be timestamps. Stop bullying me. Do you want to read them off? Because I sent mine to you and I
Yes.
can't. I had to switch my
Where
phone and
in-
iPad today because it was being weird.
Where in the shit? Okay, first one is, don't forget you're gay. Me, a pan woman in a heterosexual relationship. That's right. And then another person comment. Oh, so that was Jerica Faye 2315. And then below that is Yoga Dork. Namaste. I love that. Same, been married to a man for 11 years. Still gay though.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kendra Osborne, 1926. If anything about your outfits are wrong, I don't want to be right. What? Oh, right. We were cowboys. Yes, agreed. And I think I have a comment or maybe I probably didn't screenshot it. I just
They said
commented on it. But
we look like Joey from Friends.
when he's doing when he's being the cologne salesman, and then he's like at odds with like the dark like Stetson guy, like you would have been him, like, and like he's the pro. Joey's like, yeah, it was really good. I love whoever that was. Thank you. I didn't screenshot it. I just replied and got overwhelmed. So with love.
With love. Also, before we get into it, we do want to give a quick shout out to the JK podcast, which is coming soon.
Oh, yeah.
You can subscribe to it. We'll have it linked down below. It's Jesse Smiles of the Do We Know Them podcast and Kathleen Lights of Kathleen Lights. And
Of just being Kathleen.
Lights. And they are starting a podcast, just like a shooting the one, not hot topics or anything like that, but it's going to be real great and we're real excited. We've already watched the first episode and it's hilarious.
Amazing. I didn't want to finish it. I'd like message Jesse and I was like, I need more because I'm having anxiety that this is going to be over in 30 minutes and I don't know what to do with myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be great. I think like anybody who's like Do We Know Them podcast fan is going to love it in addition to, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like people listen to us, they listen to Jesse and Lily, now they can listen to like Jesse and Kathleen. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know why. I know that we had briefly talked about like some people kind of being upset about it that are like ride or die fans for like the Do We Know Them, which is like,
so it
like,
wasn't
great that you're,
from what I saw, it wasn't even that. I don't think it was people that are fans of that. I think they were at one point and then
right,
they hate everyone and themselves now.
mm-hmm.
And some of them, and they were real mad, and they were like, how can this is going to affect blah blah, and God forbid a woman give information and context. My God, they were not happy with me saying that. I literally had to leave that subreddit. I was like, and mute it. I was like, I can't be in here anymore. People are insane. It's so crazy. But yeah, I was like, no, they're going to be able to batch film. It's not, hot topics or anything. So it won't be in real time. And then they already have an editing team behind them. Like the first few episodes have already been like filmed and edited. Like it's not going to take anything away from Do We Know Them. And they're just like continuing to argue with me. And I'm like, okay. And then like telling me to leave. I mean, like, why are you here? Why are you making this about you? And I'm like, I'm not. What the and then I was like, because I'm commenting on something? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, then are you making it about you? Because you're also in here.
Yeah.
And then,
and heaven forbid we actually have firsthand conversations
Yeah.
and knowledge of what the
It's-
is going on.
I even did that thing where a lot of times you're like, Chelsea, stop. It's not worth it. And I'm like, no, I want to try to understand. I even said in the comment, I was like, I'm not being snarky at all. This is a genuine question because like I don't comprehend this as someone who is autistic. And I just want to try to understand. And I asked another person too, and they were like, girl, that's the point. Like they're gonna go in circles because they don't have a point and they just want to complain and be dicks. And I'm like, but like if you are making an assumption about something because you don't have all of the information available, and then someone presents you all of the information so that you don't have to make an assumption, you can actually just know the thing. Wouldn't you want to know the thing?
Yeah, to know what you're talking about, like,
Or
and
would
it's
you?
like, I
Do
don't
you
know if
just
it's
want to
like
continue to be wrong?
exactly.
I don't want to be wrong.
Like, I know, like doubling down on something that's just not true, and I get it. It's hard to like admit that you're wrong about something, but also like something admirable of being like, yo, you know what? I actually needed that perspective. Thank you so much. Easy as pie. There we go. Done.
Yeah, there were some people in there who were like, "Why are you getting like downvoted so much?" Or like, "These responses are fucking crazy." Like, what you like? They asked the question and like or like put it out there and you answered it. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because really they weren't. They were telling people what their assumption was.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's so annoying. Go follow. Support. Everyone loves everybody here. Like, it's not that fucking deep.
But also, that's not. I'm just being a little bitch and complaining. Okay, I don't need anyone to go defend me or anything like that. I would like to say, you know what? I'll save my going off rant about being accused of being a doxer, which I've never done. I'll save that for Patreon.
Oh, what are we talking about on Patreon?
You know, just general complaints about people who are idiots. I'm being accused of doxing someone when I
again
never. It's the same person. I never did that. Literally, never did that.
She's still going on about it.
Girl, she left the longest comment, and I have her blocked on Reddit, so I had to like unblock her or like still click on it to view it. And she's like, "You still to this day have not censored my personal and private information."
Wasn't it her username that she chose on a public platform, like, and made it public?
So I thought that's what it was originally, but you know how on your Instagram or this was on TikTok. On your TikTok, you have your username, but then you also have your name.
Mm-hmm.
And even if your profile is private, both those things are still viewable to the public.
Right.
So she had her government name as her name on TikTok.
Yes, and she was public?
No, her account was private. However, even if your account's private, you can still see that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, when you're looking, okay, yes, her thing. Oh, yes, okay. So has she changed that now? Like, does she know what to do?
I don't know.
We have her blocked?
Yeah, I'm not dealing with that bullshit. And she said, she's like, I've talked to a lawyer. And I'm like, yeah, I bet you have. Like, you know what they're going to say? That's not doxing.
No, it's out there.
No.
And also
the person the video was about doesn't even have like a dedicated following. Doesn't have people who are going to go to you and harass you. I can't.
And you were there to like defend her, really. So it's, oh my God. Anyways. And I thought you didn't even say it. I thought it was just like a screenshot of something.
It was a
like her
screenshot.
Own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of her own profile. Okay. This is all.
And it was a screenshot that wasn't even in, like, yes, it was in my video, but it was from.
It wasn't from your video. Yeah.
Yeah. It was from the other person's video. Right. Why'd she say they're mortified? So speaking of, do we know them? We do. Well, not this person, but the podcast. If you do watch them, then you most likely watched their episode about Laura Cleary and her ex-husband, Steven. And we have been wanting to talk about this as well. And a lot of times if it's like a smaller, like niche situation and, you know, they talk about it, or, you know, Marky or Angelica, like make a lot of videos about it, we usually won't. But this is a lot. So, and I think it does have like a lot of, you know, her son being autistic, me being autistic, us being, you know, having multiple mental health diagnoses or having been in like a manic state before, both of us. I think that we can give interesting perspectives, but then also the like recovery aspect too, and all that. So yeah, different perspectives and all. And I'm just, it sounds bad, but like I'm fascinated by it. But also it's like, I feel bad saying I'm fascinated because like this is happening in real time and this is her life.
It's happening in real time, yeah. And it's actually kind of concerning to see like the lack of like, I guess like urgency or like care that even like TikTok is taking like with his platform. I don't know. Anyways, I've got thoughts too.
Yeah, so I want to talk about that when we go over like final thoughts and stuff, because I'm sure we'll have other points to make. But that's one thing I want to talk about, like how this is playing out like so publicly on social media, and the like the platforms themselves, like how much should they get involved? But then also the aspect of this of it playing out on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So like, do we think that makes it more dangerous, or do you think that maybe there is a side of that to where like, well, it's kind of good because then like we see what he's
Protection
doing.
is safe. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, there's not just like, it's not he said, she said, it's like, it's all fucking out there, you know? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like from the get-go, right? Like
Yeah.
they've been like together and creating content for so long, and like being able to see like a personality switch.
Yes.
There's a lot to go for.
Yeah.
It's probably a sensitive it's going to be a sensitive I think topic for a lot of people for a lot of different ways. So like just I guess be aware of that, because there's just pretty much like I feel like every sensitivity you could have is probably here.
Yeah. People, we love going through like manic episodes though too. That's another aspect of this.
Yeah.
I have someone in my life going through it right now. It's so fucking tough.
It is, and it's scary.
Yeah. Yeah, she keeps saying that she is being hacked. And right when she just kept saying that, I was like, okay, Lisa.
Oh no.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Also, I had a lot of people say that they love my mic rest.
As long as it's at your mouth.
Thanks. Thanks, it's new. It's literally what Bean does when he gets in here. He just shoves this whole thing in his mouth. Nasty. Okay, so we're going to get into the like main characters of the story in a second, but how we got here, things like that first, right? So let's go ahead and jump into this situation.
As you may know, I was hacked yesterday by the father of my children, my very young children who are 4 and 6, who I fully support. My ex proceeded to delete one by one maliciously each and every piece of content, long form interviews, sketches, podcasts, vlogs that me and my producers, editors worked so hard on for the last 4.5 years. He just deleted every single one for the last 4.5 years on my YouTube. On top of that, he deleted my Facebook, which I've worked for over a decade on, with over 14 million awesome followers. I poured so much love into these comedy sketches that I wrote and filmed and directed and starred in, some with over 100 million views. All of that gone, all gone. So, if you want to continue following, especially my long form content, the only place it's available now is on my Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/Laura Clery. I release video podcasts every single Wednesday, comedy sketches, vlogs, lives, all of it. So you can support me there if you want. Oh, and on top of that, I've also launched a book club on my Patreon. So every single month we read a new book and we discuss it. And I'm so excited. I was inspired by my mom, who's had a book club for over 40 years, where we can learn and connect and grow together and just have a great community of women who are seeking knowledge and community and connection. So, and fun. That's my goal and my dream, and I'm excited. So the first book has already been announced. You can go there to see it. It's fucking awesome. And yeah, we'll be having a book club. And on top of that, I interview the author at the end of every month, providing they're not dead. So very cool stuff. Again, you can support here and enjoy the content and the book club and the community. For some sick, sad reason, he's trying to erase me, destroy me, the mother of his children. But sad news, buddy, you can't. I'm going to continue to inspire and entertain and spread love and light and comedy and positivity to the world.
Should we discuss her eyelids and how now I want an upper bluff again?
I know. I know. When I see that much eyelid space, I'm like, gosh.
Like
You could take over the world,
what's she
Laura.
doing with all that real estate up there?
I know. I love it.
So,
Yes.
So now let's talk about who these people are if you are unaware. I always get nervous whenever a device is like, oh, you can't log in to like this account. I'm always instantly just like, great, I got banned again. I really thought that just happened to me on TikTok. I just got so nervous.
You're like, I just started getting into live. I'm a live TikToker now. I'm a battler.
Come on. Oh my God. No, I could not.
I know.
Okay, so let's talk about Laura Clery and Stephen Hilton. That's who these people are. So Laura Clery is 39 years old. As you could tell, a massively successful content creator across multiple platforms. Girl, having like very shareable content, just like amazing. Love, that's crazy. So 22 million combined followers. An actress, comedian, social media influencer, in recovery for 13 years from, being sober. That's amazing. Love that for her. Mother to 2 children, one of which, their son, is on the autism spectrum. I know some people don't like when we say is on the autism spectrum. However, I don't know his like level of diagnoses. So
he has made. I've followed Laura for so long. She's also an author. And
I think it's level 2.
I'm sure she's said it, but I followed before like they even had kids, which is just wild to see all of this unfolding.
Yeah.
But to be able to see, her son's name is Alfie, to be able to see his progress and how amazing and patient and just like nurturing she is. Like he was nonverbal for a long time, and like to see lately, like he's communicating, and then his sister will also like give the same cues as Laura does to like get him to like focus and like to say a sentence, right? And like his sister's so tender. And I think like those moments, because you only see like obviously snippets of somebody's life on social media, and it's very parasocial, like even for me, like to think I know them. But I think that is such a testament of like who she is behind closed doors, because something we also will talk about is, I know that I don't think there's a lot, thank God, but there's one woman specifically on TikTok right now who is trying to say that this is no God. Hat lady.
I hate that lady.
I know. Who is trying to say that like this is all, they're in on this together. She's an actress. This is what they do. They're trying to like, she's trying to get people to the Patreon to get more money. Like this is, she's a lie, and she's constantly trying to like debunk everything she says.
This
I'm like,
involves your kids. No, I don't think.
Yeah. There's no way. Not when it comes to this, especially with like the work that they have been trying to do and that they once were doing together, talking about addiction, talking about mental health. Like they've been open. Why in the frick would they, like, would this be the thing? Like that does so much harm. But anyways, like if that's what you're going to see, it's like, no, you're able to like get a pretty good understanding of someone's character and then like just like their heart, and that they are that person that they're showing on those clips. I think like by your children and how they react. And it's just been amazing to see her son's progress, and even her daughter, like she's younger and like growing to be this little like, nurturer as well. And
I love that.
I think that says a lot about Laura.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I love that so much, because I know it can, and we're going to get into that in a little bit, but I know it can be it can really tear families apart. My God, not to sound like the frog man, to have a diagnosis, not only of just, autism, but, level, because there are obviously different severities, and, with level 2, 3, someone that needs more assistance and, the specific therapies and things like that. And so I know that can really be a lot. And from what I have seen, at least, like you just said, I mean, it's only a little bit here and there, but like that's amazing. It makes me so happy that he was born to her.
100%.
I've seen anyways. So lots of followers everywhere. Crazy. And she also has the Idiot podcast, and that also has a good amount of like a lot of followers too. 14 million on Facebook. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of people. And she, like you said, is an author, and she has written multiple books. Laura Cleary, Idiot, Life Stories from the creator of Help, Helen Smash. And then there's Idiot, Marriage, Motherhood, Milk, and Mistakes. Oh, that book cover is giving a CC Suarez maternity shoot. Love it.
Totally.
Love that so much. Okay. So very successful, has been on the internet forever, all that. And then we have Stephen Hilton, 51 years old, born in England, resides in America, Los Angeles, married to Laura from 2012 to 2023. So that's 11.
Just under 10 years, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, 11.
11. You
Yeah.
just made me real
Don't
confused.
me, you tried.
And he is the father of her 2 children. He is also a YouTuber, record producer, composer, did the podcast with her as well. Previously in recovery for drug and alcohol addiction for 20 years. As of this year, it has been reported that he is using drugs and alcohol again, claimed he was sober for 20 years until he relapsed in 2025. Now, him on his own, he has a quite large social media following as well. And I would assume that it's because they made videos together.
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong.
No, yeah, a lot of their content was together, and that Helen Smash Helen Smash series was with Steven, right? Like she'd wear that boxy face on Snapchat, and it would be she'd be like Steven, when they were on a walk, and then say some corny perverted pickup joke, and that was the bit. So for forever, even up till recently, they've always been together, right? Even during the divorce, they talked a lot about that on the podcast, and I thought it I could see both sides. I can see how it's this could be a little bit dicey because it's so fresh, right? And maybe people aren't there in their relationship and stuff like that, but then also giving hope, right? That you could still, there are a lot of married people out there, not just content creators, but have businesses together, and how do you navigate that, and parenthood very early on in your separation and divorce. So I thought that they were navigating it very well in terms of keeping that comedic content, because it was a lot of funny things that they were doing, and the bits that they would still do. So yeah, I think that they just have been pair and pair, but Laura's obviously kind of taken off more.
And I love that for her. So early, and we'll get into, because I do want to talk about the podcast more too, and how a lot of times, we'll see people who are sharing information, and it's hey, we don't need to see this. Girl, I did not consent to being at your counseling session. But then with some of their podcast episodes though, it does give a different vibe though. And I think it is because of her and how she carries herself with it. If that makes sense. We'll watch some clips of it, because I really think that it has a lot to do with how she carries herself and how she responds to him about things. And I think she is very, I feel I relate to her a lot, because it seems like she is, at times can be very unserious and uses, humor and dark humor, but then also is very matter of fact and is, assertive and is well, no, that's actually not true. And I think it is important to talk about hard things.
That's not true, Ellen. You were invited to my birthday. You just didn't go. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just keep seeing that clip from Dakota and Ellen.
How was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited.
And Ellen tries to say she didn't invite her, and I'm like,
girl, we're in queer media. We all know what you're referring. You don't need to explain it. It's okay.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. Here. It's okay. Gimme. I love you. By the way, in one of the recent episodes, we both had our hands right here on the thing, and we were both moving our fingers, and it looked like we were just so gay. Just touching hands under the table. It was so, I was watching, I was like, what the f are we doing? I forgot we aren't in the same room. Crazy.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. not me gaslighting myself. There were 2 people in the comments of the last episode saying that they just realized. Love
I
it.
love that.
It makes me
That makes me very happy as well.
If congratulations, you're in the inside joke now. From now on, if anyone ever says that we are not in the same room, lie to them. We're lying to everyone. We're saying we're in the same room. And then if they ask like, well, how do they travel? Like one lives there, one lives somewhere else.
Teleportation.
No, not that. Oh my God, just respond with logistics. And that's it. The most vague answer you could give.
I was going to say Jet 2 holiday.
Do you have it all memorized?
Yes.
Go. The floor is yours.
Okay, wait, hold on. I have to remember the exact. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. And right now, you can save 50 pounds per person. That's 200 pounds off for a family of 4.
The accent got stronger as you went on, and it's amazing. Yeah, at first you were Canadian, and then you had like a Cockney accent, and then I don't really know what happened
and then
at the
it kind
end.
of went Australian at the end.
It did. She's international. She's a woman of the world. Okay, back to them. So Laura and Steven were married in 2012. Let's get to the early days, right? Steven started appearing in Laura's social media content. He collaborated with her in several comedy sketches, as you said, with Help Helen Smash. And let's go ahead and just play the trailer, shall we? So y'all get, some giggles.
Steven. Yes? Do the show. Why? Because I'm digging my ass!
I'm trying to get away from this girl. She won't leave me alone.
Steven, are you a puppeteer? Because you can put your hands up my dress and make my lips move. Are you Italian? Because I want pizza bananas! Are you Italian? Because I want pizza bananas! Well, Steven. You don't like my magic carpet, my muff scrubs, my fur line?
Leave!
Not until you at least.
No!
See it? What is it?
She's haunting me!
Oh,
Do you hear that?
You spat.
I can't hear it. I'll just do it.
Yeah, it is funny. It's a lot. That's a lot.
It had its moment. The compilation, usually I would just see like I don't think I've ever seen that compilation. You would just see the one-liners like I literally just spat everywhere. You'd see like the one-liners like almost every day. And then they started getting into like full-blown like skits like that, like little mini, I don't know, comedy sketches, obviously.
Yeah.
She's the woman behind Pamela Pumpkin something other.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I love that one. That's my favorite
What
one.
it was like
And this is Alan.
yeah, I don't even know the song. It's like Kick the Demons. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's her.
I've only
That's
seen
her,
like
that's them.
the first bit of like those clips, and then when she's like, and this is Alan, I think it's so cute.
I love Alan.
Hi, y'all, I'm Pamela Pumpkin, and you're about to do Pamela Pumpkin's Halloween workout. Woo! This is Alan. All right, come on. Shake off the Skittles, shake off the Reese's, shake off those candy corns. Now ride the witch's broom. Squash Satan, kick him in the crotch. Squash Satan. Alan, get it together.
Yeah, well, not anymore. So the content they created together grew in
Oh, I
popularity.
thought you were talking about the little old guy that's in there. Sorry.
Nope. So obviously very like shareable, like funny, memey content, whatever.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
prime Facebook content,
For sure. That's where it belonged, for sure.
That is where it does belong. Not anymore though, because he deleted it, which is so fucked up. The content they created, whatever, grew and oof. And then they also started, you grow as a creator. People want to know more about you. They started sharing more about their personal lives, their journeys and sobriety and all that. And then they had 2 children together, Alfie and Poppy. And Alfie, the boy, is the one that is on the spectrum. He's the one that's diagnosed autistic. And Laura has created a lot of content around, like we said, highlighting that. In terms of like that being exploitative, I personally don't think it is. I think that actually shows like, here's what I'm doing. Here's this progression. Like her actual content isn't about him. Like she has her own content, opposed to like the Fathering Autism YouTube channel where those people are just exploiting the out of their daughter who has pretty severe autism.
Right. It's like the progress of like, in addition to like everything else, like she's let everybody in her life like this for over a fucking decade.
Yeah. It feels like it's more so about, and yes, there's a fine line, but I feel like it's more so about her, like her being a mom to a son with autism, you know, instead of like my son has autism. Anyways, just wanted to make that clear because obviously it's a sliding scale when it comes to exploiting your kids on the internet and those types of accusations. But yeah, let's go ahead and get a little glimpse of that.
Abby just brought me a water balloon.
Oh, I know. I'm not tired.
Mom, can you help me tie this?
Hey mom, can I tie this?
Hey mom, can you help me tie this?
Hey mom, can I help me tie this?
One more time. Hey mom, can you help me tie this?
One more time.
Hey mom.
One more time.
Hey mom, can you help me tie this?
Hey mom, help me tie this.
Can you help me tie this?
Can you help me tie this?
Nice, that was really good. Now give me I love water balloons.
I love water balloons.
They're so fun to play with.
Balloons.
They're fun to play with.
Fun to play with.
Let's go throw them outside.
Let's go throw them outside.
And watch them splash.
Watch them splash.
Okay. Hey, thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Look at this awesome pink water balloon.
Awesome pink water balloon.
Okay. Okay, bring it outside. Okay. Ready? Don't go too close to the edge. Ready, set. Woo! Crash! Woo! High five.
Oh my God.
I love that. That's like probably one of my all-time like favorite like recent videos that she's done. She's done a few more of them like showing, you know, like how to do that and how like an activity that he loves to do. She'll use that as an opportunity to be like, okay, like let's work on like your speech or like this in this moment, as opposed to sitting down and being like, you know, like we're gonna go through cue cards, which I'm sure works like for some people, but not everybody, right?
Yeah, but
and
who likes that?
So exactly. Yeah. And for both sides, right? Like for even like as you don't want to get like you do want to try to find like things that I don't know, make it like less like stressful for everybody involved. Like, like you said, like family included, right?
Yeah, things that you enjoy. Bean is obsessed with cars. And so we have about 1 billion of them. And so we, you know, are counting cars. We're learning about cars. We're doing the like colors with cars because he loves those. And whenever I want him to draw with me, which he never wants to, if I draw cars, you bet he wants to draw with me. And then obviously that is good for like dexterity and stuff. But yeah, I mean, with anyone it works, but especially with, you know, people with autism because you are hyper focused on one thing. So
right.
I love that. It seems like such an amazing mother.
Yeah.
So Laura and Steven were applauded for like they've always been applauded, you know, talking about their sobriety, their struggles, and being transparent, being vulnerable about things. And yeah, so separation and divorce, they got divorced in June of 2023, but they were separated in August of 2022.
We are divorcing.
Yeah.
Which it's already public, right? You're getting comments about it?
I've had a couple of people say they know the date that it happened and they know that you're divorcing me. That was a nice move. So now it looks like I did something mad.
Well,
I did.
I
did.
And after claiming 20 years of sobriety, Steven relapsed, and sources shared that he began using drugs such as that's so dangerous, fentanyl and narcotics. And it was also alleged that he'd been drinking alcohol again. With his relapse, his behavior changed, obviously, as it does. And then he said that he was experiencing suicidal ideation in 2022, which is not great, but common when you're relapsing. And Laura had to call the police to assist with the situation. In addition to relapsing, he admitted that he had cheated on Laura while filming a podcast episode, which meaning not cheated on her while they were filming, but cheated on her and then admitted it. Sorry, that sounded weird.
Well, if you really want to go there.
Yeah, I do want to go
You've
there.
not always been faithful in our marriage.
One time.
So what? That was
When
still
I was on drugs.
That was still an affair.
Yeah, I was on drugs.
Yeah, and she did steal my problem momentarily. And I took the problem back. I took that problem back.
Do you know that I don't remember any of that?
Really?
I don't remember it
How
happening, and I don't
convenient.
remember you. I read in your book what happened. I read in your book
Yeah.
that you looked at my phone and you went to the meeting. No memory of it.
Well, I just want to say, I actually didn't intentionally look at your phone. This was wild, because you were on drugs. So I remember it was like 10 a.m. This was pre-kids, so I was sleeping till then. Steven was in the studio making music, and I was sleeping, and I heard his phone alarm go off in the other room, and I yelled out to you. I said, Steven, get your phone. He didn't hear me because he was in the studio with the music loud.
Yeah.
And I was like, Steven, get your phone. And he didn't hear me. And the phone alarm just kept going off. Beep, 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 beep. And finally, I just push the covers off and walk up to the kitchen. I grab his phone to turn off the alarm. And then, boom, a text pops up from a name called Absolutely No Way. So some part of you was like, don't do this, Steven.
Right.
Don't do this. But Absolutely No Way pops up. Very subtle.
I know it from
saying,
your
are we
book.
going to meet? And then I write back, yeah, where are we meeting again? And I show up there.
And he began immersing himself and sharing right-wing conservative, like, talking points and memes and all that. And obviously that's not super great. So due to all of that, Laura was saying that like his behavior obviously was affecting the lives of the children and overall the well-being of them and impacted her mental health. And as a direct result of that, they got divorced. Now, here's the current dangerous situation that seems like everyone is scared for her. And a lot of people have said, like, basically compared him to like a family annihilator. And it's terrifying. So Laura shared the video we're about to watch. And we have to read the caption. This will be the last co-parenting episode I do for a while. When I first had the idea of creating a co-parenting series, I genuinely thought it would be educational and helpful. It wasn't trying to be funny. I saw it for a way for two content creators who happen to be divorced and raising two kids, just a mile apart, to show what co-parenting can look like. I imagine it might help 56% of other divorced parents out there to feel less alone, maybe spark some real conversation about what works, what doesn't, and blah, blah, blah. So let's go ahead and get a little snippet into like what the co-parenting podcast has been, or the series rather, because it's still her idiot podcast, but it's just like certain episodes are that.
It's so self-destructive because by you using, you're ensuring that they're not going to live with you. Whereas if you were sober for a long period, they would be able to live with you. And then you would get a few days of a break to be able to write music, sleep through the night.
Yeah.
You know, that's like a perk of your kids living a mile down the road, is that you get great time with them, but then you also get time for yourself and for your art.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be so grim.
Yeah.
You know, but by using, you're saying, well, now they're not going to be living with me, you know, so it's just
but they don't have to physically be because I'm not physically with them. They are growing apart.
But then do everything to be physically with them.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, you can stay sober.
It's hard to watch.
It is, but I really do like her delivery. Like not wavering and just being like, no, yes, you can. You can literally stay sober. Like it's, I don't want to be like, it's not that hard. Been there, bud. But like, you know?
Yeah. Well, and he's made it so public too. And I mean, of course, I'm sure like people like they had speculated like long before like just him kind of like going off the rails and stuff like that. And I don't think they knew the extent to it. They knew that he had like relapsed, but I think like in their mind it was like, okay, like it was like a short relapse and like he's back on, and he had already had like 20 years clean, right? So I think that the audience kind of like that was like the perception of it, that it was like, okay, relapsed, it happens, and got back on the horse, and like we're forging on. And then he was like, no, like now I'm actually, I think he was saying like he's doing like an experiment, like, you know, what is it like to like actively be using and have this platform. And it's like I think what she's saying, she's like, you're losing your kids.
Yeah. And someone made a real good comment on this, and it says, I want to put it out there that Laura is an addict too, and in recovery. Not only is she consistently choosing herself and her kids, but she is staying clean throughout all of this trauma, which is amazing. And I think that's kind of an aspect of this that is pushed to the side or even forgotten. And I think that's really important. Now, on May 21st, Laura posted the video we're about to watch. It does have copyrighted music, so you know. But let's read what it says on the screen. So she posted this and it said, I'm trying hard to move forward with my life and do the right thing for myself and for my kids. All I want is to create a happy, stable home where they feel safe, protected, and deeply loved. It's been incredibly painful to endure the daily slander from their father, and there have been some truly concerning events transpiring. That said, the kids are safe, they are with me, and I'm doing everything in my power to shield them from the chaos and keep their world steady. Thank you to those who continue to offer love and support. It means everything. That one of the top comments, which is interesting, it says, not really sure why everyone is coming at Laura. Steven made a conscious choice to break sobriety for his creative content, as you were just saying. So Laura is the villain for sharing her journey. Sorry, Laura, sending love and support and all that. And another person said, people severely forget that you are in recovery, holding it together as well. You're so strong. We're rooting for you. It's so crazy. Yeah, people are, there's a bunch of comments saying like the amount of victim blaming in these comments is, okay, so people saying like, stop making this public. And it's like, well, your entire like job was with this person and like all of your content was like surrounding them. So, and if they're putting all that out there, I mean, you should make a statement. Yeah. And like say that you're safe.
Yeah.
Like this person says, you all should probably stop making your marriage so public at this point. I feel like I know too much. No more interviews, no more marriage content. Leave the topic off the podcast. Leave it for the lawyers to handle. And she liked that one. And someone say,
well, because that's exactly what she just said. Like in that last episode, like she had the long description of being like, these were my intentions. Like clearly, like now, like that's not where it's going. And this is not beneficial or useful to anybody. This is dangerous.
It's a great concept.
And yeah, and exactly. It literally is. And at the beginning, I think that there was like a lot of like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing their relationship. And I was like, you know, it was kind of inspiring to see their closeness still at such an early time, right? Because like my oldest daughter's dad and I were very close. Like I love him so much, but it wasn't always that way, right? And I'm so thankful now that, you know, like he'll come out and like hang out with Big Guy, right? And when he's like coming to like visit Hales, like he'll just be like, okay, Haley, I'm going to go watch Fast and the Furious with Bren or whatever. But it wasn't always like that. So it was really nice to be able to see like that was always the focus of the kids, and also like making sure to like take care of their like relationship, right? Even though that looks different than marriage, that's still a relationship, right?
Yeah.
So
I completely agree with that.
Yeah. It's sad that it kind of turned out this way, because I think that there was definitely a space for that.
Yeah. She actually commented back to one of these comments. So one says, I hate to say it, but it may be time to step away from content creation to spare your kids. You shouldn't be updating us. We don't need to know. Your kids need to know more now than ever. Be fully present, or need you more now than ever. Be fully present. No one can help Steven. It's kind of true. Only he can help himself. You're doing this on your own now. Grieve that privately with counsel and do right by your kids. I'm sorry, Laura. No one wants or wishes to be in circumstances like these. And listen, I don't think that was like a mean comment whatsoever. And Laura said, "Hey, I appreciate your concern. I've been creating content for over a decade now, and it's how I support my family. I didn't ask for certain things in my personal life to be made public, but when I'm being attacked online daily, sometimes I feel the need to speak up. I'm not quitting my job because of my ex. I'm shifting focus back to comedy and my podcast and what I love most. Thanks for your compassion. It does mean a lot." Which I
There you go.
completely agree with that. So like, for instance, people, not to always bring it back to Elizabeth Teckenbrock, but people have said to her, like, girl, get off the internet. But the thing is that, and she always says like, well, it's my job. Girl, you hardly
No.
make any money from
You-
TikTok. No, you don't.
Oh my gosh. Like,
But that's the thing is that like, but you aren't actually like creating like something of substance. Like you're dancing around on in like your bathing
you had a
suit.
viral moment. Everything else
Yeah.
besides that, like you are not making an income from.
No.
Not to mention, she goes back and forth all the time. And the more she's getting drunk on live lately, the more her mask is slipping and her lies are coming out and people are exposing it.
Love it.
Because she said that she has a job.
And then she
But
said she
then
doesn't.
when people are like, get off the internet, she's like, this is my job. No, it's not. And no, you don't have a job. You're still scamming people. And over the weekend, we just had another guy come out.
I know, it's amazing. But with Laura,
Revert
like she
back.
has the podcast. No, I love it.
This is her job. Yeah.
Yeah, like-
when you're hitting like the hundreds of millions on multiple platforms, like for decades,
Yeah.
that's
But
your
not
job.
not
baby.
only that, but like it's not just like you dancing to like a little trend, right? It's you are
creating content.
Yeah, you are producing it. See, so that's the difference between an influencer and a content creator. Laura is a content creator, right? So I do think that that's like interesting of people being like, get off the internet. It's like, are you going to not go
going to
to
your
your
job?
job? Like, no, what the fuck? I have kids. So Laura shared this very heartbreaking video. So get ready to cry.
I heard someone say on here, believe the patterns, not the person. And that really hit. And if you are a young girl out there and you start noticing a pattern, but he talks a really good game and promises he'll change or promises he'll never do it again, please, I beg you to believe the pattern, not the person. The pattern doesn't
Yeah.
lie, the person will.
That's so, oh God, that sucks. You can tell like something probably like just happened where he done up again. So that's, someone said an apology without change in behavior is just a manipulation.
Yep. Actions speak louder than words. That's been my it's like one of the oldest, I guess, like cheesiest like sayings out there. Like not cheesy, but like just like regurgitated. But it's like until you fucking get it, you're like, no, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
It actually it is. Like you show us who you are every day.
Yeah.
And you can talk, but unless like those actions are like backing it up, it means
Yeah. Someone commented and said, I had to get a restraining order against an ex because of the patterns. He was a lying narcissist. I'm so sorry. And that gives us a little bit of foreshadowing because on May 28th, 2025, so like all of this is literally, I say just happening because I don't know why, like in June, it happens in March too, or in April, but in June, my brain like thinks it's the beginning of June right now.
for the entire month.
I don't know what's happening. I am a time traveler. So Laura shared on her podcast that she has been living in fear due to things that are happening in her personal life, which is terrifying, and how she's been handling it. And it has been reported that Laura filed for an injunction, which is a restraining order against Stephen in late May of 2025. And in this video, she seems to be referencing that.
How's everyone doing today? Are you having an amazing day? Are you having a horrific day? Or is it just like really boring and mediocre? Today is a big day for me. I feel really liberated. You know, I'm in fear There's a lot going on in my personal life that I've been navigating. But the cool thing is I've been able to have the courage to just walk through that fear and take action to protect myself and my kids. I've been praying a lot, and I'm not religious. It's really funny to pray if you're not religious because you're just like, what am I praying to? But I just have been all through the day. I just say, God, please remove my fear and replace it with faith and help me to have the courage to do the things I need to do. It's been weirdly helpful to just surrender and pray and do the things that I've been so scared to do for so many years.
So then also, Steven shared a video that same day, and it's giving like the Willy Wonka ride.
The Willy Wonka ride.
Yeah, when he's like in the scary tunnel.
Oh, yes. Okay. 100%.
Admit it. You like it. Don't you? Say it.
So the comments are like, hey, buddy, what's going on? Someone said, it's giving Laura take the kids and run vibes. And someone said he posted a video not too long ago crying about a restraining order she filed for seemingly no reason. He doesn't seem to see the problem. And someone else said, yep, padded cell vibes. And then someone else said they are both the problem. That is so 4 brain cells. And then the same day he shared a post that says, for entertainment purposes only. Turns out sharing injustice publicly online can be a very good move, even if big PR, oh God, is that like Big Pharma? And is paying for quite an extensive digital campaign, must be costing a fortune, and it's not working. Thank you, IG. Inside knowledge. Let's get to work. What the are you talking about, sir? So then he posted like weird ass scribbles. 10 to 10, right. TH, only steal one fruit. One something old, 11 p.m. sleep. So it's like his schedule. That's all you're doing all day. And then he shared.
Did that first one say vitamin, exercise, sunny, walk, or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah. Weird. So this says no contact. I do not agree to the order requested. So I guess he's like contesting it or whatever. But yeah, he posted basically like the restraining order, I guess. Jasmine Steiner said, good God, LOL, does Laura actually know you're posting the temporary restraining order documents online? Please get a life. Millions of people split up each year with children and move on. People on Facebook are unhinged. And then May 31st, she shared a video, which has copyrighted music, but she shared a video of just basically like keeping the mask up as a parent and like not showing your kids like what you're going through, because you don't need to do that. They're little. They don't need to know. And it says when you're absolutely terrified of what is to come, but have to play princesses and dragons anyways. So there actually has been a lot of people being supportive of her, obviously, thank God. So let's roll the compilation.
I come from a very long line of addicts in my family. I try really hard not to weigh in on people's really serious, dangerous drama, like what's going on with Stephen Hilton and Laura Clery, unless I have something relevant and unique to add to the conversation, and this time I do. When I was very young, my parents made the difficult decision to cut me off from certain family members who could not give up their addiction for us. And I just have to say that in my 40 years, I have not once, not for a millisecond, blamed my parents for making that decision. One thing I know about addicts, just from my experience, is that they always see themselves as the victim. They will always. And to some extent they are. But that does not compare. An adult's choice to not get and stay sober, that does not make them eligible to stay in their active addiction and continue to play victim. I know the decision Laura has made cannot be easy. It cannot be. And watching her go through the retaliation she's going through as a result is absolutely heartbreaking. But I hope she knows, and I hope any of you who see this who are in a similar situation know that this is the right thing. It is the right thing. Particularly when you've got an addict who is glamorizing their addiction. Oh, this is part of my creativity, part of my creative spirit. This is what children hear and go, oh, well, that sounds pretty good. I believe that Stephen thinks that his children will one day resent their mother for separating them from him. And I imagine Laura probably fears that, especially knowing the kind of alienation he's trying to do. He's trying to do, not her. But if there's anything I can say as a grown child of a family of addicts, it is that they're not going to blame her. If anything, they're going to blame their dad.
Tell you right now, if my ex-husband deletes all of my social media, deletes my Facebook, my YouTube, what I make money from to feed our kids, yeah, that man is not safe to be around, not safe to be around at all. If you are not tapped into the Laura Cleary and Stephen Hilton stuff, you need to go ahead and tap in. That man is not to be trusted. He's not safe to be around. She needs to keep them kids away from him. I know she has the RO out on him. I mean, I just want to talk. You deleted her social media. You don't want your kids to eat. I don't understand. What do you want to talk about? What's not clicking, Stephen? She don't want you. Leave her alone. It's so crazy to me. Like, work on yourself. And I understand he's going through addiction. He's going through some things. But you need help. Because you cannot be there for yourself, for your kids, in this kind of mind frame. He is not safe. It's giving, if I can't have you, nobody can. If that's what it's giving.
Now, he recently as well, which Jesse and Lily went over too, he hacked her Facebook and posted and like edited a bunch of captions and posted a picture of like a screen, not a screenshot, but like a screen, and like from his laptop or whatever, and said like, it said like view insights or like promote, and you can't do that unless you are logged into.
Yeah, it said my story, and
Yeah.
it's Laura's.
Yeah.
It's literally, but it's apparently coming from him. And it was all of these unhinged posts about him, like implying that it was coming from Laura. But then he's saying, this isn't Laura. Like, I'm confused. She wouldn't speak like this.
And it's like,
then
yeah,
that
we know
was, like,
it was
the
you.
Screenshot. Yeah, and then there was a screenshot. So like he was implying that like somebody had hacked her, and then that was like the proof that he was showing, like being like, oh, like I'm seeing all of this and it's concerning. And then it's her. The screenshot is of her account, like being logged into that account. A lot of people I know are like confused by that on TikTok. They're like, I'm not getting it. And it's just like, if you have a Facebook, you'll see like at the top it'll be like my story, right? And then you click on and you can make your story like you would on Instagram. And so that screenshot of him trying to say, Laura, it didn't say like my story and it's Steven, it's my story and it's Laura's page. And so that's when she had come, you know, like I think it was like a couple hours later, and everything had been deleted. So at first he was like almost trying to say like she's been hacked, like something's going on. And then all of a sudden Laura comes on and it's like, no, I wasn't hacked. It was fucking Steven. And now he deleted everything across social media. And I think from what I know now, I think now that there's been some time since that happened, she has been able to recover some of her accounts and stuff.
I hope.
But then again, you've got like some psychotic fucking people. We'll put a clip in because I don't even want to like sit and listen to it and react to it because it's just bullshit. But worth seeing of being like, you're just trying to funnel to Patreon.
Why would Laura delete her own videos or stage her videos being deleted? That is the question that everybody is asking. So she took down the free videos, or the hacker allegedly took down the free videos, and then put them over on Patreon behind a $10 a month paywall. So in the last 3 days, she's gained 14,500 subscribers over there on Patreon at $10 a month. So maybe $150,000 she's gained in the last 3 days. So basically her free content went behind a paywall conveniently when she was hacked allegedly by her rug-addicted ex. And while I have been watching Steven and Laura crash out in real time, this is what I think. I think that either Laura was responsible for deleting her videos on YouTube and Facebook, or she was part of it, maybe with Steven, without Steven, I don't know. The videos that conveniently got deleted were free on YouTube and Facebook. Simultaneously, she pushed all of her subscribers to Patreon. So when she posted her video on TikTok where she was incredibly sad and saying, he deleted all my videos one by one, and it was this emotional pool on her audience, she then said, oh, go subscribe to my Patreon because that's where you can find my videos now.
I'm sure like when you're at that like point in your life and you're following and you are getting like so much hate and questions and what like assumptions, and then you get everything like deleted, you would go behind a paywall because you know that those are the people who are actually willing to pay and support you and want to be there. There's an incentive for them to be there to support you, not to just like pay to like fuck your life up.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we talk about, you know, more, I don't want to say vulnerable, but like stuff that maybe I wouldn't normally say on, you know, an episode, like a public episode, because like it's smaller. It's the people who like you.
Those are people. Yeah.
Those are our people. Patreon.com/here for the clout. So it's truly wild. And then him going down this path of like, and if you know anything about being in a manic episode, you can have this mentality or this outlook of like, it's me versus them, or like I have the solution and like I know the secret, and it's like, oh, I this, that, this, and this, and they're like manically scribbling in a notebook, and it's like, it's the cure for cancer, and it's like, Jessica, that's a picture of a carrot. Like, what are you talking about? You know? So yeah,
we'll play like an example of one of his videos where he's saying it, and it's sad also because like it's all the emotions, because you can see it and you're just like, you need help. But in his mind, he absolutely does not think, he does think he has the solution. He's like asking other people, like he's just like, come, like, you know, like come over here, like to like follow me over here, and this is for like, you know, the 1% that get it, and like I have the solution. I know like if we come together, like we can make a change.
Having nothing to lose can make someone dangerous. I'm about to drop something on the forbidden platform. The one I can't mention here. I don't even know if it's legal.
Hi. Feeling remarkably good today. Really feeling so much clearer. Everything seems to be making sense and back on track. I feel positive, and you know that feeling where you feel like you're doing something you're supposed to do. That's how I feel, which is nice. Hi Laura. Hi Laura. Hi Jenna Music. What I'm doing is I'm step by step building a frequency structure that I'm getting specifically instructed from someone who's very clever. My partner is very clever. My partner Brian is very clever. Is giving me some very specific instructions. I'm building that. And my God. But it's not for everyone.
It's really scary to like see it, and like especially if you're like in that like a delusional state like that, and then coupled with being upset and having your anger pointed towards your ex, and like the excuse is like it's all her.
Do you think that, because a lot of people have been like, oh well, you know, it doesn't seem like he's like violent, but, and I feel like it's horrible to even speculate, but from like just his eyes, I'm scared for her safety and the kid's safety.
I think like I think just like physically, like you see a shift, like he's not the same person that like I had even watched like for like with her for all of those years. I thought that it was a really alarming, and I don't think that like there's anything like inherently bad with like having like sometimes different like views or opinions than your spouse, but like when they had divorced, it was like he went so opposite of like who it had been. So is it like, was that like the start of like the manic coming out?
Yeah, maybe.
Or had you been like masking this whole time and to be somebody like that you thought you were going to be or whatever in the public eye, and you thought that was like the right thing to do? He's also a composer, and like I think have like worked on like films and stuff like that. So then there's like that aspect of him just being like, oh, I've seen some things. Like I've seen a change in his eyes. Yeah, and he does
Yeah.
look very, very scary. And that's not something that I saw before. I could see like this like tender, even at the early parts of their separation, you could see this
Yeah.
like light in him, and that's gone.
Yeah, it's really scary. But if there are updates, I will do. So I have a feeling that I'm gonna send like so many like updates and like voiceovers and stuff to the editing team, because I feel like there's just a lot more that I want to get into, but unfortunately we can't. But I have had a great time.
I haven't. I'm gonna go cry now.
Well, yeah, no, I'm terrified for her, but I've had a great time with you and with you,
I
not
know,
on
babe.
this topic.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
we will see you later, and please stay feral.
Stay delusional.
Damn the man! Save the empire!
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.